If you're from an Asian country, you'll have to deal with a lot of racism. And regarding Asian countries, that everyone assumes that you are from China or Japan because people are uneducated and they are actually complete idiots. And there's going to be a lot of racism and xenophobia. And this woman from Thailand, she has said, had to deal with a group of men who called her, said hi to her in Chinese, assuming that she's from China. Because obviously, this is deliberate, because they will keep doing it again. Watch.
You are not from China, I'm from Thailand, man.
Notice how this woman, her skin color is more darker. Typically, countries like India and Thailand, they are most likely to have a darker skin color than compared to, since they're more closer to the equator and compared to countries from East Asia, which meaning China, both Koreas, Japan, Malaysia. Which they are located more northern.
I'm not from China, you stop saying ni hao. Okay.
Racist abuse in Belgium.
See? She told them to stop and they keep doing it.
Okay, that is racist.
You're racist, you.
A Twitch.
And these are the Europeans who are just being racist to Asians. And if you look back at the history, you will know that it was mostly Great Britain, France, and Spain that are countries that colonized Asian countries, African countries, and of course what we know as Canada, USA, Mexico, and any other countries in Central America and South America. As those countries mainly speak English, French, or Spanish. And several of the countries they have, it took them a long time to form their own government and independence from European rule. Or they still serve a leadership to the royal family, most likely in Great Britain. Or they still have some connection to the European region. But due to racism, everyone thinks anyone who is Asian is from China or Japan, and they don't bother to learn about other cultures, which is just racist and shows how uneducated people are, and lack of respect, and they only care about their own country instead of try to learn about other countries that they know more about other countries than these other countries, typically European countries and Canada, USA, would only learn about themselves instead of how the Asian and some other countries would know more about the others and themselves.
A streamer from Thailand was mocked by a group of men while walking down the street.
Man, you educate not everybody from China.
That is true. And regarding stop Asian hate and the coronavirus pandemic, we had to the Asian community had to start stop Asian hate and stop AAPI hate and variation and try to empower other Asian people from around the world who have been dealing with racism from people from other racial backgrounds. Typically white people and dark-skinned people and any other country, typically European and most likely USA. Since racism happened a lot in New York City and Los Angeles and San Francisco and Toronto. And North America should not be proud of that. And also, the world, most people, typically USA, blamed China for starting coronavirus. Which it was later revealed that a lab in China was funded by USA, so USA is also to blame. And the countries like South Korea and Malaysia and all the way down to Indonesia have to do with the being called Chinese or Japanese, and people have been making fun of Asian people, yet these people endorse everything that Asians have made, and they don't pay respect. And some would even make fun of BTS, which a lot of BTS fans will tear these people apart.
You, man. You. Absolutely. Huh? Yeah, no.
That Thai woman had every right to be mad because, especially if you're Asian, to go to a country that was most likely known for colonizing the country that you lived in back in the day, a couple centuries ago. People from nowadays would be more respectful, but back in the day they would not.
People just racist to me.
Sadly, this man in the hostel is unable to see the problem.
No. They said, ni hao. Yeah. I'm not from China. I'm from Thailand.
Also, if you look at the features of the Asian person, you can also tell that where they might come from, even skin tone. If you say that to a person from South Korea, they will correct you. I am Korean. If you say that to a Japanese person, they would tell you to say how they would say hello in Japanese. And in other languages, like from the Philippines, of course, they would tell you to how to say hi in Tagalog. So it is important to respect how to say hi or other common words that you would be using to people from these countries in Asia. And if you do not respect these people and how they say this, you are technically being racist, and you keep doing it, yes, you are a racist person. And these people are typically people who only care about how these other people from other backgrounds should assimilate, or how they should to it, how our country does things, and instead of respecting how these people who are tourists from other countries, how they do things, and try to, if they're going to try to interact with them, try to say things the way that people from that country would say, and just to be more friendly and accepting and showing hospitality, you would try to interact them by saying hello in their language, or at least try to, or if you don't know hi to, just say hello, my name is, whatever your name is, and ask them what their name is, and it would have been way more respectful. But these people, they are obviously being racist, and they deserve to get called out for it.
No, it's not. It's racist. It's racist for Asian people.
That is true. That is true.
Racist.
Yeah, for people, why racist? Like if I'm talking with you English now, it's racist?
No, if
English is a common language that people usually communicate with. English is a common second language used internationally. Because how would you expect someone from Africa to communicate with someone from Europe or Asia? Because you can't expect someone who knows how to speak in French to speak to a person who only knows how to speak in Spanish, or someone who speaks Korean or Tagalog or Chinese or Japanese. And you have to show respect.
you said hello is okay, but not ni hao. Because not everybody is from China.
And since this person is keep on going and saying that they can just pass it on by saying ni hao, that is being racist. Not everyone is from China or Japan. And just because China is one of the three most populated countries in the world, next to which they're competing with India, which India seems to be having a higher population. And people only know China because Chinese buffet, Chinese New Year, and made in China, China this, China that. It is basically racist and basically xenophobic and lack of respect to just about any other Asian country, and the Asian population outnumbers any other population in the world. Asia is a big country. China is not one of them. There are industries in other Asian countries that China has to go to another country. For instance, K-pop. Chinese people would have to go to from China to South Korea, and they would form a K-pop group which features mainly Korean pop singers, and then be known as a K-pop group such as Blackpink, because some members are not from South Korea, such as Lisa, who happens to be from Thailand. And there's the other members from other K-pop groups who are from Japan and other Asian countries, even west of Thailand and India, who are part of K-pop groups, and even Chinese pop groups and Japanese pop groups. They are not as famous as K-pop groups because they are the biggest in the industry. They cannot compete.
Example, you see my face. I look Moroccan, I look Arabic.
I would say hello.
I look Arabic.
Yeah.
You will say
If she were to not know that, unless you've told her in the first place that he is from any of those countries, you can't just assume someone's where someone is from or what their gender is, especially what the LGBT people are doing these days. And you should just say hello and move on with it instead of and if someone has to correct you, listen to them. Listen to them.
After the incident, the woman wrote online, "And for this hostel, staff who work here should know customers come from around the world. Asia doesn't have only one country, and the fact that he said I have small eyes and look like Chinese, I can see how much he is uneducated."
Japanese people have the smallest compared to China and South Korea and other countries.
It's not normal to say ni hao to Asian people.
I'm not from China. You stop saying ni hao.
The Twitch streamer added, "Thank you for the many people who stood up for me."
And anyone who is in Europe who does this kind of thing to a Asian person should stop in their tracks and reconsider what they're going to say, because you could end up on the internet for bad reasons and get labeled as racist. And especially if you're famous, that is a bad label for you. And there have been people who try to talk like in an Asian accent and they're not Asian, which Billie Eilish, that whisper singing, pop singer, she was under fire for that. And there have been people who have been, especially the other Asian people, who have been commonly mistaken for Chinese or Japanese, and people should instead ask, where are you from, instead of assuming that this person is from China or Japan. Because this is completely racist, and there will be people who are watching that clip by Daily Mail, and they will be influenced off it, and they'll continue to do it like what those Belgian people did, and going to do the exact same thing to an Asian person, which they're going to assume is a Chinese person, and we're going to. And if they do it, those people deserve to get punched in the face or kicked in the balls. Because Asian people, they created a lot of things, and people from around the world, they have been endorsing things that Asian people have created. And and yet they have no respect for Asian people, and they just be racist and xenophobic. And all the physical, verbal, and cyberbullying that Asian people receive since the older days, and especially the coronavirus pandemic. Please speak out about this, and if you have seen an anti-Asian hate crime, please report it to the local police, and also notify your local Asian community about it, so the Asian community can speak out about this, and we can bring awareness to it, and we can stop racism toward the Asian community, because we worked hard to create what you guys endorse, and it's time that you gave us respect for it.